Good evening, everyone. We are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am really good. I'm really happy to be talking to you tonight and to be in our groups and to be speaking to our members and our clients. It's pretty exciting. I thought maybe I'll do a quick little introduction to some of our new members who are joining us for the first time. I'm speaking to you from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here with my name is Catherine Asaro Myers, officially known as Rara. I'm here with my, last week I said my sunshine partner, and she still is bringing sunshine wherever she goes. Lori, you're still in Tennessee, right?
I
Right.
am still in Tennessee currently.
Okay, yeah, keep your eye on the Moving Gratitude Girls because we certainly have manifested moving around. We're here to bring you about 20 minutes of Gratitude Girls training and coaching here on these 3 pages. Maybe you're listening to us from our private coaching and training page. Perhaps you're watching us on our Gratitude Girls who love to practice gratitude every day. Or for second week, this is our second debut on our business page, Gratitude Girls. So if you're wondering what you're in store for, Lori, would you like to give a quick synopsis of what will happen tonight?
Sure, yes. So we come to you about 15 to 20 minutes, like Catherine said, for private coaching and training that we do free. And then we have what we call our private dining room, where we invite you to come join us right here on Zoom every single Monday night, right immediately after this private coaching and training call. And so if you are interested in joining us in our private dining room, go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching and you can see all the details there, find out more information. If you do have any other questions, of course, go to facebook.com/gratitudegirls, like our page there, make sure you follow it, but send us a message right there, and that message will come to Catherine and I both, and we can get back with you. Make sure you leave us your good contact information for us to respond to you as well.
Right. And if you're a quick start while you're on this call, you could just go right up there and sign up, and then we'll get a message and we'll put you right in that dining room with us so you don't have to miss a beat. So let's talk about, that's what I would do, right? I'd be watching us and I'd be signing up on the spot. Let's talk a little bit about, what they say in marketing, tell people what you're going to tell them, explain it, and then recap it. So let's talk a little bit tonight about taking 100% responsibility. We have a few habits that we're going to highlight. We're going to go over 8 habits. Well, we're going to cover 8 habits. Lori, would you like us to mention the habits and then speak about them in case anyone is taking notes? Should we do that? Because I have it very handy.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so here's a recap before we even go into it. There are 8 habits of highly successful people. Habit number 1, take 100% responsibility. Habit number 2, decide exactly what you want. Habit number 3, believe it is possible. Habit number 4, visualize your success. You can do that, right? How many times have you thought about something and then you thought about it so much you were standing in that moment? Habit number 5, act as if you are already successful. Habit number 6, be willing to pay the price. My mind thinks of so many alternatives. Habit number 7, feel the fear without letting it stop you. And habit number 8, find a mentor. All right, let's discuss those habits, Lori. Starting with number 1. Would you like to start, or would you like me to start? I got tongue-tied there. That doesn't happen very often.
Sure, yes. Well, and first, I just want to preface it with, having success is an attitude, right? It's something that you develop, like a habit or like a muscle. So, some people become successful very quickly or whatever, but in order to keep that success, You have to develop that attitude, your habits, the muscles that you're going to retain it, right? And so, you know, one of the biggest things is like what Catherine said, is taking 100% responsibility. If it's always that because I didn't get this because it's someone else's fault, because of who my parents are, because of where I live, because of how I grew up, right? You have to take responsibility. It's your life, it's your rules. I remember a story about this. It was these two boys that they had a really drunk father that didn't keep jobs and things like that. They both grew up, and one didn't keep very good jobs, became a drunk, an alcoholic, etc. The other became extremely successful. When interviewed, they both, in separate interviews, asked, how or why did you become how you are? And they both said, because of my father. So one chose to take his circumstances and rise above in spite of the way he was raised. And the other one took the quote victim mentality and chose to walk in the same tracks, saying it was because of the way he was raised.
Great point, Lori. Such a great point. I'll go to habit number 2. Decide exactly what you want. Like Lori was mentioning, it has a lot to do with your vision and establishing your goals, our goals, not just you, us as well. I'll read you an example. In another article, maybe I shouldn't give that example. Okay, let me start over again. If you don't have a clear goal of what you want to accomplish, your chances of achieving success are nearly zero. Suppose you want to increase your income from $50,000 to $200,000 a year, let's say within the next 12 months. And this is a specific goal. With the right strategies, with the right tools, and the right mindset, you can absolutely achieve it. On the other side, if your goal is to earn more money without a deadline, without knowing how much money you really want or desire, chances are pretty high that you won't achieve any results. It's those generalities. I want to earn more money. I want to be better. I want to be richer. I want to be thinner, without a clear vision and steps. How would you get there? If your intentions are the roadmap, without clarity, it's not going to happen. That's what success is not linear. It consists of many deviations that you need to run across. And if you really want to achieve a specific result that you set at the beginning of your journey, just be specific. There's nothing else I can say. Play a decisive role in your own architecture, architecting your life.
Yes, absolutely. That's so good. And the next thing just kind of walks right into the next step from what Catherine said is your belief. So you have to believe that it's possible. So get it in your head. If you can believe it, you can achieve it, right? Whatever your mind can conceive or believe, you can achieve. And so if you can't believe it, the same thing, your subconscious mind is going to take over and you're not going to achieve it. And so, like they say, whether you believe that you can or believe that you can't, either way, you're right? So it's mostly in your head. That's where the thought comes in. So one huge thing that we do in our coaching is we teach people to set money, financial goals, right? But if someone comes to us and they say that they are currently making $50 a month, and then they say that they want to make $50,000 a month, that's their goal. If you're making $50 a month, your mind probably can't yet conceive that you can make $50,000 a month. Can it happen? Yes, absolutely. I know lots of people that make that kind of money. But the thing is, if you're at 50 now, your mind probably cannot conceive it. Not saying that it can't, just saying it probably can't. So what we teach is start with small goals, because you can always update your goals. You should always revisit and revamp and update your goals anyway. So if you're currently making $50 a month, maybe our first goal is $500 a month. Then once you hit that or come very close to it, then we're going to upgrade you to like $5,000 a month, right? So you up your goals, you revisit them often, but this way your mind can believe it. So that way you can go out and achieve it.
And Lori, that goes right into visualize your success number 4. I'll tell you a story. When we became the Gratitude Girls, excuse me, I had a vision in my mind. And I had told myself, I wrote this in my I am statements. I had envisioned myself right up on stage. If you know the story about how Lori and I met and what happened and how we won these gratitude awards and how it was the first time this ever happened in our company, I didn't really know the how. I knew the visualization. I knew I was standing up on stage. I knew I was next to Cody. I knew that was going to happen. So I visualized it over and over again. Every day I wrote about it, I spoke it, I recorded it. I was able to talk about it on Jordan's call. I made it common knowledge to myself in my day-to-day life that this was what I visualized. So when you're able to visualize on a daily basis what success means to you and what could happen. Let's suppose you want to be a public speaker in the next 2 years and you want to speak in front of an audience of 1,000 people, the way I had intended to be in front of an audience with Cody Bateman. I visualized that. So now visualizing your goal is to imagine yourself in front of 1,000 people. Okay, take a minute, envision that. As if you had already achieved this goal. So now you're there in front of 1,000 people and the goal is part of your history. Close your eyes and imagine the room with that 1,000 people inside. Get a clear vision. See yourself in action and your amazing speech and feel the vibration of the applause of the people at the end of that. You see yourself in action, in play. This is what I mean by visualizing your success. It's a powerful technique that helps you in your journey to achieve the results you're looking for. Don't cut yourself short. Take all the time you need. Take a few minutes every day and visualize. If it's a minute, if it's 5 minutes, if you want to set your calendar, if you want to do that when you wake up or just before you go to bed, after you write in your gratitude journal, visualize your success. Habit number 4, it's big.
Yes, and the same thing. The next one just plays right off of that one also. So act as if you are already successful. Now, there's one huge thing in this is don't be fake. So there's a total difference between being fake and lying to people that you're already successful versus acting for yourself to feel like you're already in that place. So when you visualize it, like Catherine said, you play the part for yourself. This isn't for the other people. This is for yourself. So your mind can't distinguish from a real experience and a vividly lived one. So your success, remember, like I said before, it's an attitude, but it's also a feeling. So you can feel ahead of time what it's going to feel like when you go up on that stage. I know Catherine and I have talked about, we got the videotape of where we both were on stage in 2013 in front of thousands of people. And we've rewatched that video because just so we can relive the goosebumps feeling of getting called up on stage. And feeling like you're in that moment, because when you literally feel it, then you attract more of that feeling to you. Those vibrations attract more. And so if you haven't experienced something like that already, then when you visualize it, then your mind is going to believe it's true. And then it will end up happening, just like how Catherine talked about. It ended up happening for her because she constantly visualized it. She acted as if she was already successful in that place of what she was wanting to achieve. So you have to believe it first, and you have to believe that you deserve it also, is another huge thing. If you don't feel that you deserve it, you're going to automatically block that success coming to you also. So you have to believe that you deserve it as well.
And we were lucky enough to have that filmed for us. So we have it on our website. We get to relive that moment. It might not happen for you that someone will be recording that. But if you are able to, then go and rewatch that. Habit number 6, willing to pay the price. Okay, where does your mind go with what does that mean? In order to achieve your goal, you have to do something. You have to pay the price first. What does pay the price mean? The concept is simple. If you really want to do an amazing speech in front of 1,000 people, you need to master the skill. How would you have that goal if you didn't know what you were going to do? Would you stand in front of those 1,000 people and do what? So suppose you want to manage an event on your own. In that case, you probably have to work on your marketing. That would make sense. Producing content related to your target audience to attract people to follow you first before inviting them to a live event and so on. You know how that works. You have to do a lot of things to accomplish your goal. This is what we mean by pay the price, not just getting across the finish line. It's what you have to do in order to be qualified, mentally able, physically able, emotionally able, and available to reach that success. Because sometimes we block that success, like Lori said. So in order to achieve anything in life, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to do it, obviously without damaging anyone or anything. There's always something to sacrifice. And a quick story, Lori, your son just recently won an award. So without going into too much, one of your sons, too much detail, there was a price to pay, correct?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, if you're an athlete, you can relate to that. We won an award, we can relate to that. If you're willing to pay the price to get to your goal, doesn't matter how big or how small the goal is, you just have to be willing to pay the price. Okay, that's habit number 6.
Yes. And then number 7 is feel the fear without letting it stop you. Right. So there's lots of things that people are afraid of. And there's lots of things that people are afraid of that stops them from the success that they want. Fear of success is a real thing, even in that. And so, you know, some people they have the fear of financial success because maybe they were raised with thinking, well, you know, rich people just waste their money. They spend things on money on stuff that they don't need or whatever, right? So if you had that talking to you when you were younger, then you might automatically have that blocking for you of a financial success. So there's lots of things that could be blocking you. So we're human beings, right? And we are constantly living with those emotions. So you have to realize what your emotions are. But successful people, you know, they get afraid still. They still have fears, right? Anybody successful in any area still has different fears. But the thing is, they're not going to let that stand in their way. They're not going to let that stop them. Right? And so they move forward. They might think about it. They might take precautions to make sure that they don't do anything that they don't want to do, right? to take some of those fears away and to solidify their steps. But then they go ahead and move forward, right? If you want to grow, if you want to move forward, you have to learn how to grow. And when you want to grow, you have to be able to overcome your fears. And that's it. And it's just taking those baby steps. Like when we have a child, like a toddler, right? And that toddler wants to walk so badly, but he keeps falling down. And does he just sit down and pout and say, this walking thing, it's okay, it's not for me, right? Or does he get back up in spite of his fears of falling again and try again, right? Does mommy help him walk again and take steps? So let the people that are there for you also to cheer you on, hold your hands and walk you forward in your steps that you are fearful on, so you can move forward and see. And then pretty soon, then you're going to be running because you realize, wow, this was so great.
I love that analogy, Lori. I really do. I'm thinking, so then when I can't do something, I'm going to think of myself as a child, the younger version of me, and the determination it took for me to be able to walk, and then take that mindset that nothing will get in my way. Thank you, which leads us right to number 8, because when you are that child, you actually have a mentor, right? So as a child, we don't know to find one. We just know we have one. But as adults, we know habit number 8, find a mentor. You cannot pretend to do all the things you have to do without a guide. It's just not logical, and it's not possible. In other words, without having a guide who has already achieved the goal that you want to achieve, it's really hard to accomplish the things that you're looking for. So keep in mind that there are 2 main factors that we should consider in business: time and money. Say it again. 2 main factors that we should consider in business, especially in business: time and money. Without a mentor that can guide us, we're losing time by doing all these things alone by ourselves, and we're losing money. So due to a lot of mistakes, we don't know how to do something. We keep trying because we have that determination, but it's costing us. So what do we want to do? Do we want to lose time and money, or do we want to take the mindset that we need to be trained by someone who has the skills and experience necessary for us to achieve that goal? So we would look for the person who is accomplished, accredited in the area that we're looking to succeed. Makes sense. Sometimes people don't want to pay someone else's expertise. Think about that if you're in the service business. Has anyone said, no, I really don't want to pay you, or maybe that's too much? Well, that's because they do not think it's necessary. But with that mindset, they're going to fail. And before finding the right path, what might happen if you fail before you find the path? Well, to be honest, often these people quit because they think it's just too hard. It just doesn't work. The problem is that they have to test so many things because they don't have the right knowledge or the right experience. So it seems easier to quit because it just seems logical. Nothing really works. But with a mentor, instead, all of that journey could be a lot easier and faster. In addition, you'll enjoy the process because you're not alone. Find a mentor as soon as possible and don't waste your time and money. If you've ever watched The Voice, Blake Sheldon, you know what he does. Yeah, choose a mentor. If you're interested to save time and money, go that route. Did we do a recap again?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll just add one more thing to that really quickly before you go over the points. Is the same thing. So like Catherine said earlier, my son just won a competition. So my oldest son, he is a professional bodybuilder. So he's won several different competitions. This time he was in another one just 2 days ago. But some of the pictures that I had posted on my social media from when I was at the event watching him with his wife, is a girl commented on it saying, man, his poses are on point. They're perfect. right? And so I copied that and I texted it to him, and he said, yes, it's because I switched trainers from my last competition to this one. So, and that was one thing that he worked on him with him a lot over the last couple months. He was sending me texts and pictures of where his trainer was having him pose and practice that on top of going to the gym and lifting and, you know, and his eating and getting in shape. His trainer was watching him with the food that he ate every day. He had to text his trainer exactly what he ate and how he ate and what his weight was the next day. And then look in the gym, you know, working out with his trainer every day, and then doing the poses and checking all the spots. That was with his coach, because he wanted to be the best, and he ended up being number one in 2 different categories. But that's it. Anybody in any profession has a coach, a trainer, a mentor, one of those things of the sort, to get better, to be better at whatever they're doing.
I'm so glad you went into that detail. So if you want to know a little bit more, go to Lori's private personal Facebook page and take a look at those pictures. And if you have any questions, and get with her and imagine the mindset that has to be taken. Not only did her son have a coach, he went and upped his game on a coach. So there might be another level of coaching that you're looking for. And then there's a difference between being qualified and then winning, right? So there are levels, and I'm so proud. And we send our congratulations to your son for being such a leader and an example, fine example of what one can do and what he's doing with his life and your body. Wow, those pictures were amazing. Okay, let's talk about a brief recap. These are the 8 subjects. So these are the 8 habits of highly successful people. Take responsibility 100%. Decide exactly what you want. Believe it is possible. Visualize your success. Act as if you are already successful. Be willing to pay the price. Feel the fear without letting it stop you. And find a mentor. Lori, before we go into our private dining room, is there anything else that we want to tell our audience, our guests, our friends, our relatives, our clients tonight?
Yeah, just rewatch this video, go over that, listen to all those, I was trying to think, okay, which one should we go back over and say, this is the most important one? And then I would think, okay, fear, that's the most important one, because you got to stop yourself, you got to make sure that you can go past your fears. But then it's belief, right? And so each thing is just, they're so important, they play off of each other, just like how when we talked about them, you can see how it just played right off of each other, it just rolled one right into the next. And that's it, they're all so important. But so once again, we have our private training and coaching room, and so our private dining room. So if you would like to join us, we will go into more in-depth detail and with you on that personally on your journey. So with us, you get 2 coaches for the price of 1. So once again, go to our Facebook page to message us, facebook.com/gratitudegirls, but go to our coaching page at gratitudegirls.com/coaching. There you can find out all the details about how you can come get either private one-on-one coaching with us or in our private coaching group. So it's a small group of people that we teach, coach, and train as well. And then just the last thing is, 4th Tuesday night of every single month, we are here with the Gratitude Girls. We have got an amazing guest tomorrow night. Any of you that know me knows that, after I became a widow, I used to always say, I'm never going to live alone. Once my kids grow up and move out of the house, I'm going to become like the Golden Girls and have a bunch of widows living with me. Well, God had other plans and brought a wonderful man into my life. But our guest tomorrow night has living that life that I had talked about living too, and in Canada. So make sure to join us. I'm so looking forward to our show tomorrow night.
Yes, we will have a really good time tomorrow night, that's for sure. So you can be with us. If you didn't have enough of us tonight, you can come back tomorrow night and meet our guest. Lori, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for tonight, and thank you to our members for being here, and thank you for your comments this week. We look forward to chatting with you in a private dining room.
Good night, everyone.
Ciao.